A welcome back also to Ohio's Dave Blaney, and a special welcome to newcomer to Australia, Jason McMilan from California, plus a cast of the fast here at PCR, together with modifieds and fender benders to bring us plenty of action on the first round of the New South Wales Sprintcar Championship. Back here tomorrow night for the final. And to talk to some of our American visitors, we cross trackside to Alan Edworthy. Alan will be talking to the drivers coming down from the big United States. And Al, we see you've got the drivers ready, and we'd like you to take over and talk to them, please.
Thanks indeed, Stuart. Ladies and gentlemen, as Stuart has said, welcome back to Rob Rutley's Winfield Parramatta City Raceway, and what a night it's going to be. The opening round of the New South Wales Sprint Car Championship. We've got Garry Rush in the pit enclosure, we've got George Tatnell down there also, and the cast of the fast in what's going to be one of the greatest sprint car racing of the season. We feel sure of that. But the good news is, of course, the three drivers that have been waiting all week to see here on the Clayway. The three Americans, leading off with Danny Smith, Jason McMilan making his first appearance here in Australia, and Dave Blaney for round two, his second tour down under after several years' absence. But right now, how about first of all, a big warm welcome back from Indiana to Mr. Danny Smith. Danny, welcome back to Parramatta. We're looking forward to seeing you strutting your stuff again on the clay. This is tour number 7.
Yeah, it's beginning to feel like home to me.
How does it feel? This is 7 Christmases away from home. You're forgetting what all the cold weather's all about.
Yeah, well, about every other year we get to stay home and have Christmas. This year I left a couple days before Christmas, but yeah, I'm getting used to it, and everybody at home's getting used to it. It's an annual tradition to leave before Christmas and make the family mad.
Okay. Danny, we know that many of our race fans out there, of course, follow the American racing very, very closely. But for those who haven't been reading their Open Wheel magazines, what's been happening with Danny Smith and the World of Outlaws this season? Been tough going.
Well, we had a real good season go until right before the big races, the Knoxville Nationals. I drove a car out of Texas, and we had really good success running top 3 or 4 in the points. And unfortunately, he ran out of money, had no sponsors, and he had to park his car. And from August to the last 2 or 3 months of the season, I jumped around to different cars. So I ended up 7th in the World Outlaw points, so it wasn't too bad a season.
And for the second season in a row, you've turned up and teamed up with Dennis Farr, and this year running under Dave Lander's Toyota banner, and with a new 87 high bar Gambler. That must be a good feeling for you.
Yeah, Dennis, he spent a lot of money and a lot of time to get me the best equipment, and if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here.
Okay, Danny, we wish you well tonight. Welcome back to Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for Mr. Danny Smith. Okay, how about a big Parramatta welcome? His first appearance here on the Clayway, Jason McMilan from Sacramento in California. Jason, welcome to the Winfield Parramatta Raceway. A pure clay track, as you can see. Is it going to hold any problems for you?
No, this is just like we run at home. It's a real nice little racetrack.
And just what's been happening for you in the American season?
We're running real good in Northern California, and we won the championship up there, and we had some fun with the Outlaws and learned a lot, especially with these guys. And I got a good deal with Sid Moore to come down here and run.
Well, Sacramento has been a long time a hotbed of modified and sprint car racing over many, many decades indeed. You come from a racing family, the Duke McMilan outfit up there in Sacramento. How do you rate your chances tonight, and what about the car?
Well, my dad came down here with Kinzer and Wolfgang. They really kicked some tail, so I'd really like to do that tonight with a little help from my friends.
And how do you feel about the car you'll be racing tonight?
It's a really good car. I put it together myself this week, and I worked some of the bugs out last night, and I'll work the rest of them out tonight, and we look pretty good.
Well, the one-lap record round here is 13.64 seconds, so the credit to that gentleman at your far right. Is that going to cause any anxiety for you?
Not much.
Okay, you heard it. How about putting your hands together for Mr. Jason McMilan, first time down under here on the Clayway. Welcome, Jason. The young gentleman on my right making his second down under tour. He was with us in 1984, and did this man open some eyes. It's, as we said, his second time down under, and tonight he's driving for Coca-Cola. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome back to Dave Blaney. Dave, good to have you back with us. You're used to clay circuits, of course, and you've had a top season in the outlaw circuit in the United States. Does your second Australian tour hold any worries for you, feel?
Well, right now everything's going good. Bob Walsh got me a real good race car, and we ran a little bit last night and did okay, ran third. We're hoping to do a little better tonight.
Now, back in the States, you've been running as a development driver for the Challenger Chassis Company. Just what's entailed there?
Well, I ran for them for about 2 years and split up in the middle of last year and ran for a man out of Lima, Ohio, and we did exceptionally well there at the end of the season.
Okay, now you've had a chance to try out the car. Have you made many changes to the racer in preparation for tonight's meeting?
Oh, we went over it all day today, just checking little things. Found a few things wrong, so we're hoping to do a little better tonight.
Okay, for your second tour down under, Dave Blaney, welcome back. Folks, we welcome Dave Blaney from Ohio in his second Australian tour. Wish the Americans well, because they're going to need it. We've got some of Australia's greatest sprint car drivers. Let me get right on that. We've got Australia's greatest sprint car drivers. They're in the pit enclosure waiting to entertain you. But before we go racing, ladies and gentlemen, will you be upstanding for the playing of the Australian national anthem? Okay, that's it, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Position 11. George Tatnell should be position 11, and Brooke Tatnell will slot on the inside, position 9. So the two Tatnells, father and son, for the first time in open competition for the Tatnells.
This will be fun.
Historic moment for George, with almost a quarter century of speedway racing tucked under his belt, as young Brooke Tatnell fires up the number 8 car and moves onto the circuit.
Oh, that's good, Al. So young Brooke out on the tacky top, and unfortunately for him, he didn't get a chance to get the hot laps under his belt.
I'm glad Trevor Sheilds is not in this race with Brooke Tatnell. We could get a little confused. Okay, Brooke Tatnell moves in the number 8 car. In the hot seat is Joe Madsen. The pressure on the young Out West Charger as he takes the field through turn 4, but officials still trackside at this stage. No start. Just waiting for young Tatnell to move in. Bob Blacklaw well placed, sharing that front row with Joe Madsen. Good field. Okay, one car down, but we still run 13 laps. The Journey Heat 1 for the 1987 New South Wales Sprintcar Championship. Racing now as they move onto the lane straight away to take the green flag. Amber caution light already out, trouble for Rod Kidd. As Tatnell also spears to the outfield. The drivers not expecting the amber at that stage, looking to a full-blown green as they came out of turn 4. But it was Rod Kidd in the 43 car, odd man out, dropping out of the pack.
Al, that was certainly a wild start, and they really had the feet down on all the pedals for the opening heat, and you'd actually think it was the start of the championship with one on the first lap tonight, the way the effort went in on that opening lap. And we saw Rod Kidd go around here. Alan Bates had some handling problems down in turn 1, and that caused George Tatnell to disappear over the side looking for clear air. And Brooke Tatnell also in the number 8 car had some opening lap problems coming to grips with the tacky top. But just the same, I think it's probably good. Gets the track packed in a little bit harder. And I'd say by about heat 5, heat 6, heat 7 maybe we're going to see some very, very fast times here tonight, Al.
And of course the first of two nights, and tonight's racing shaping up as one of the best New South Wales Sprint Car Championships ever. Great to be able to present to you the event over 2 nights of racing. If you've just arrived at the Winfield Parramatta City Speedway, welcome. We're delighted you can join us. And we certainly look forward to the pleasure of your company not only tonight, but tomorrow night as we go with the all-important New South Wales Championship final. More heats on the card tomorrow night. The mighty speed cars will be with us, and the sprint cars will be going into that final with all guns blazing.
Yeah, we've only got a month, just on a month now to do blast off time for the Australian speed car title here at Winfield Parramatta City Raceway. So they'll be chasing all the practice tomorrow night they can get during their races, and that's shaping up to be a great title, Al. That's the Australia Day long weekend.
One not to miss. We'll have some more news on the speed car scene for you as the night unfolds and time permits. Next week, of course, not content with running a double show this weekend. Next weekend we do it all over again on January 1st and 2nd with a big double sprint car show again with $25,000 up for grabs for the sprint car jockeys. $25,000 in prize money for the first and second. That's Friday and Saturday of next week. Friday and Saturday nights. Racing kicks off at 8 o'clock on both nights. And, gee, Stuart, with 4 race meetings, it is 7th heaven for the sprint car fans.
Yeah, in fact, Al, if there's that much prize money up, and a man with your talents, being the 1972 Victorian go-kart champion in the 130cc superclass at called the Raceway on the Road Race Championship course, 1972, you should buy a car and go out and win some of that prize money.
I wore my hat tonight just for you, Stuart.
You sure it was 1972? Yep. I always thought it was 1970 you won.
1972. George?
I know you showed me the photos. They're only black and white. They didn't have colour photos in those days. I know that.
Okay, keep it up. Keep it up. You can be replaced.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, still awaiting dispatch of the sprint cars is Rod Kidd. Comes under the attention once again of the recovery units. Rod Kidd with a lot of problems at the moment in that 43 car. Hopefully we can get this opening sprint car heat. 13 laps underway. And let's see if we can go flag to flag and put a 13-lap journey in the book.
Al, it might be a good chance for us to welcome aboard all our regular PCR fans. Down here normally to our left, the Duck Creek Gang. Good evening and welcome. And they're awake. See, I told you we should do it more earlier.
Turn 1 judges with their signs complete. And still sober. That was a big 2 from the Turn 1 judges, and still sober at this stage of the evening proceedings. And also a big crowd from the John Maneef fan club. It's at midway of the main straightaway up the back. They fill up about 4 or 5 rows of sprint car racing fans. A very warm welcome to all the John Maneef followers up the back.
Yeah, big welcome to them in their calendar, and I'm sure that's on sale up there tonight, the Sydney Truck Repairs calendar, the best I've ever seen.
I really hope you can buy it.
I've got a copy I'll sell. No, I won't. And to all the fender bender wives down there in turn 4, they always enjoy their racing from that position.
Lovely, a lot of ladies down there having a top night. Okay, we'll look for dispatch as they run through turns 3 and 4, facing the green. 13 laps the journey. Winfield Parramatta Raceway, Heat 1 with the New South Wales Sprintcar Championship. This is Bob Blacklaw takes the field out of turn 2 and down the back section for the first occasion. Joe Madsen, the pole setter, tucks in behind now is Lee Holman. The Queenslander races up into 3rd running. Next one through is Dave Blaney. Early track conditions, spraying the clay here at PCR. The action trackers, Tatnell moves in now, and Lee Holman goes around again, but keeps the donut with a 360 degree going and races on regardless as Bruce White jumps out of the pack. George Tatnell running up in position 4. Dave Blaney takes over 3rd running with the almost demise of Lee Holman. Tatnell in 3rd. Bruce White is best of the rest, but it's all Bob the Street Blacklaw in the Central District Smash Repairs car. Now around goes young Brooke Tatnell. Look at Tatnell. All right. Unbelievable stuff from the youngster. Okay, Winfield Raceway is not all a one-way street. Meanwhile, back to the race leader down the back section. Bob Blacklaw already onto the first of the tail enders as he gets set to move onto the lane straight away. Blacklaw into the down cars. Gives Paul up the message as he goes through on the inside. Dave Blaney jumps out in 2nd running. Madsen further back in the pack in advance of George Tatnell. Sitting in position 3, George Tatnell back in 4th running. Double 4 Rod Kidd again in the 43 car, but the green light stays. And we keep racing under the Winfield scoreboard. Race leader Blacklaw, still well clear of Blaney in the 75 car, and Joe Madsen is 3rd. 7 Winfield laps completed and 5 remaining as Dave Blaney pulls out all stops in full chase of Bob Blacklaw, but I doubt it even young Blaney can haul in Blacklaw at this stage. Absconding away from the first row of the grid, Blacklaw in the 78 car, using the circuit, the high line, the low line, and again the clay right up and over the light stands tonight at the Winfield Raceway as Tatnell hooks a wheel high on the grass, racing up in 4th running behind Madsen. Opening heat to the New South Wales Sprintcar Championship, moving into the closing stages, and Blacklaw set to put maximum points on the board. Still deep in the tail enders as Blacklaw, as Blaney attempts to move through also. Tatnell closes right up on Madsen now. Tatnell applying the pressure as the white flag comes out for Blacklaw in the 78 car. 12 Winfield laps completed, less than 1 remaining for Blacklaw, looking for major points as he heads down into turn 3 and 4 for the final occasion. Arthur Cowan has the black and white at the ready, and it's Blacklaw. Blacklaw will take the money in 3 minutes, 46.73. Blacklaw takes maximum points ahead of Dave Blaney from Ohio in the United States. And George Tatnell jumps out. Tatnell takes over 3rd in the number 5 car. Tatnell comes out of the clouds in the closing stages to put the 5 car across the wire in 3rd, but picking up maximum points and the win for Central District Smash Repairs in car number 78, Street Blacklaw.
Well done to Bob Blacklaw for Central District Smash Repairs. A great drive in the 78 Flyer. 2nd for Coca-Cola, Dave Blaney from the United States of America, and from San Susie, George Tatnell in car number 5 for Winfield Racing. The time on the event, 3 minutes, 46.733. 3 minutes 46.733. And a new 13-lap track record. And well, the reason why?
It's the only 13-lap track record.
Whoa.
First time we've run 13 laps. Okay, good stuff from the sprint cars. Early track conditions, spraying the clay right up and over the light stanchions tonight.
Also in the Victorian 5 car, Max Dumesny, living now in Northmead. Trevor Sheilds is the next one in car number 17 on the inside of the fourth row. Outside of him will be car number 86, Peter Kraft. Then on the fifth row inside, it's Stephen Gall, car 26. Garry Rush on the outside of him in car 25. And to do it from the back, car number 49, Kev Worthington, as they prepare on their warm-up lap. The yellow light goes out, Al. And Al, I mentioned there's been a request for more Christmas carols. Well, somebody from the Sydney Truck Repairs, John Maneath team, has just come down and given us $100 not to sing. Okay.
There's a setup. Okay, let's get set to go racing.
Heat number 2 it is. The green flag flies. Out some pushing and shoving by Jason McMilan. At the green flag is car 46, Brett Hayward. Takes the field in ahead of Bicentennial Bob Hill. Then it's McMilan in the 99 car. The Tognotti firing up into turn 3 for the first time. Under Hill he goes into second place. Some pushing and shoving further back in the pack as Max Dumesny quickly moves up into third place now in car number 5. Rush in the 25 car, stalling at the back. Has to get going as Dumesny moves into second place. Right on the tail now of McMilan, the race leader from Sacramento, California. 10 laps remaining for McMilan. Here comes Dumesny, the Aussie boy. Hill moves through now into third place with David Anderson looking on the inside of Hayward to take over fourth running as they come out of turn 4. And David Anderson now moving into fourth place. Still no sign of Rush, who's further back in the pack, challenging with Trevor Sheilds in car number 17. Peter Kraft now making some impression as he moves up into fifth place in the 86 car. Still back in 8th place, it's Rush with 7th place, Trevor Sheilds having a great dive. Dumesny not letting McMilan getting too far away from him in the number 99 car. McMilan from California. Further back in the Beretta car, still trying to get that car sorted out, is Stephen Gall. 3 times Mr. Motocross Champion in action on the tacky top. Still maintaining the race leaders, car number 99 for CR&D. Jason McMilan, Max Dumesny for Oval Track Racing in car number 5. The next one through ahead of Bob Hill. Now setting sights and going quite well. Bicentenary Bob, car number 88. David Anderson in 4th position ahead of Peter Kraft. Rush has come through into 6th place now in the High Bar Gambler. New car on the tacky top for Rush tonight. McMilan and Max Dumesny getting through on the inside of Jason McMilan. Sensational pass on the inside. Going up high was McMilan. Allowing Dumesny to come through on the inside. Jason McMilan coming back and pushing hard now. The number 5 car out of Victoria, leading heat number 2 of the New South Wales Sprintcar Championship here at Winfield, Parramatta City Raceway. Oh, McMilan with a big pass on the inside of the slow car, back in the race lead. Dumesny going low on Hayward, and McMilan taking the big one. On the inside to grab the lead. McMilan and Dumesny, getting caught up in stall cars was McMilan. And now back into race lead with 1 racing lap to go is Max Dumesny. The Aussie boy leads and it looks like he'll go ahead now as McMilan lost time, valuable time, down in turns 1 and 2. Out of turn 4 for the last time, heat number 2, Max Dumesny. Second across the line in car number 99 was Jason McMilan. Third home in car number 88, Bob Hill. David Anderson next across ahead of Peter Kraft in car 86. Garry Rush following in car number 25. Trevor Sheilds Trevor Sheilds, and then Kev Worthington crossing. And the news from our timer, Lance Wilson, is we have a new 12-lap track record.
Fantastic stuff from Max Dumesny in the John Sydney team car. Victoria number 5, Max Dumesny, now resident in New South Wales. Max Dumesny first, 3 minutes 17.96. 3 minutes 17.96 the time for Max Dumesny. Jason McMilan, a lightning drive in the USA number 99 car. And Bob Hill placed third in car number 88. 5, 99 and 88. Victoria 5, US 99 and 88. Bob Hill third. 3 minutes 17.96 seconds. The race time, 3:17.96.
Al, we sounded like we were trying to take the mickey out of Graham Donny. We weren't. He's a great bloke, a great racer, Graham Donny. And in a way, it's a bit of a shame. You'll have nothing to talk about in years to come. But back in 1980 was probably the last time we've held a 12-lap record, or we had a 12-lap race back in 1980. In fact, the 18th of January in 1980, Graham Donny, in his little car then, scintillated around this place, flew around in a time of 3 minutes 28.82 in the little 302 Ford. And today, 8 years, almost 8 years to the day, he loses his 12-lap record because races dropped from 12 laps in those days down to 10-lap heats. And today we see Max Dumesny, and what a thriller, what a great race to see the record go in 3 minutes 17.96. A great time, a great race, and wasn't that thrilling, huh?
Oh yes, we'd heard some very, very colourful reports about young Jason McMilan out of Sacramento. Very, very forceful young driver, and as you can see, using all the circuit. Sid Moore in the 95 car from position 2. Jim Powick, car number 59 from position 3. Powick, 59 from 3. Reese Robinson, scheduled to start the 42 car from position 4. Reese Robinson should start the 42 car from position 4. Barry Lewis and the number 11 gambler for Oscar Couriers from position 5. Lewis, 11 from 5. And in the Lander Toyota USA number 3 car from position 6 is Danny Smith. Danny Smith from Indiana. USA 3 from position 6. Paul Marnie, car number 48 from position 7. Marnie 48 from 7. Nicasti, Queensland 32 from 8. Queensland 32 from 8. John Manif, car number 14 from position 9. Bob Tunks, 54 from 10. And Peter Attard in the 53 car, position 11. 12 laps the journey. They take the green, racing up into turn 1. On the outside, Terry Becker looks for the lead, but jumping straight into number 1 position. Down the back chute for the first occasion is Danny Smith. Smith hightails out of turn 4 as the race leader. 1 down and 11 remaining. Yet another 12-lap record is Smith. Hightails, the high bar gambler, down through turns 3 and 4. Barry Lewis best to the rest in advance of Becker in the 55 car. Next one to is Nicastri from Queensland, backs the car tight into turn 1, followed through by John Manif. Sid Moore and Bob Tunks still well rear in the field at the moment, with Paul Marnie being last of all. But it's all Danny Smith who jumped out of position 6 in the number 3 car as John Manif gives the hurry up to the Queensland and the Castry. John Manif, midfield, looking to get up there and join with the front runners as Sid Moore gets out of shape midway between turns 3 and 4 as Bob Tunks goes around the outside of the boss, right up on 2 wheels. Was Jim Powick on the 59 car, but regathers, but tails off after. Looks like a collapsed suspension for Powick, but the race continues on. Barry Lewis in the double 1 car, Sir sitting in position 2 and a long way back now to Terry Beckett. Smith. Car number 55 with 7 down. As Becker humps his way out of turn 4. And Pete Nicastri, the Queenslander, I'm told, giving Becker the short back end sides, and Nicastri, for his trouble, takes over third running. And the protest flag going out to the Queenslander. Pete Nicastri running under protest, and the number 32 car is Sid Moore. Races quickly through on the inside, but already Danny Smith has lapped the first of the tail enders. Keep your eye on that time. 3 minutes, 17.96 is the time to beat. And look at Danny Smith motor in the Lander Toyota Gambler running down into 3 and 4, looking for the white flag as the laps dwindle away. The pull down sign comes out to the tail enders as the race leaders move through. Barry Lewis, also Gambler mounted in second running. And back then to the high-tailing Queenslander with a big right foot hard in the bucket as Nicastri as the white flag now goes out to Danny Smith. 3 minutes 17. Oh, you can put the glasses down. Smith has blown this 12-lap time to smithereens. Crossing the wire, look at the time. Under 3 minutes is Danny Smith. Absolutely scintillating stuff. Barry Lewis also picks up the black and white, and Pete Nicastri. Black Pete in the 32 car picks up third running, but racing under protest. Okay, well, Max Dumesny's 12-lap time absolutely shattered. The previous time, 3 minutes 17.96, and now about 5 minutes after the event, a new 12-lap time to Danny Smith. Read it and weep, 2 minutes 56.45.
Max Dumesny knows exactly how Graham Donny feels tonight, Al. Graham Donny held it for 8 years. Max Dumesny held it not even for 8 minutes. So what a race. Good drive, Danny Smith. Off the polo, jumped out nice and clean, and in the USA, car number 3 for Lander Toyota out of Blacktown, won the heat number 3 for the Mighty Sprints tonight. Barry Lewis for Oscar Couriers in the high bar gambler, both cars high bar gamblers, in car number 11 in second, and Pete Nicastri in car number 32 home for third in a rather rough ride from Nicastri, who has to now front the stewards. So that could be a provisional placing. We'll ask on when the officials are back in some time. 2 minutes 56.457 the race time. 2 minutes 56.457, the new track record for 12 laps. Al, great time.
Absolutely incredible. 2 rows of 2, but officials moving trackside at the moment. So no start, of course, this time round. As Stuart mentioned, the field forming up into rows of 2 is in fact the start of the second round of heats as such, because this is the field that went to the flag for the opening sprint car heat, and the finishing order is reverted. So race winner Bob Blacklaw now gets the opportunity to start from the rear in the number 78 car. Okay, as they race off turn 4, green flag flies, and around goes Tatnell. On the outside, takes the field up through turns 1 and 2. Young Brooke Tatnell back in third running. Harry Delamont splits the father and son team as Ivan Wilson comes out of the clouds in the 28 car. Through on the inside is Wilson, but Dave Blaney and the Coca-Cola car looks for the run through. Wilson goes to the outside, and Blaney slingshots through from turn 2 to take over fourth running. But it's Tatnell, head down and tail up. Racing out of turn 2 as the leader. Harry Delamont in second, and Blaney applying the pressure to young Brooke. Tatnell is holding his ground down into turn 3. Blaney a breath away in fourth position. Back then to Ivan Wilson, and under the main straightaway coming through from the back is Blacklaw. Blacklaw in the Tognotty already up to position 6 at the moment. Goes through on the inside of Ivan Wilson, but it's all George Tatnell already through onto the first of the tail enders. That's Rod Kidd in car number 43, and Tatnell approaches with caution as he hikes a wheel high in the air, racing out of turn 4. Race leader George Tatnell back then to Harry Delamont in a number 4 car, and Dave Blaney is third. Young Brooke Tatnell in position 4 in advance of Blacklaw and Ivan Wilson. 5 laps remaining, 7 down, 5 remaining. Coming out from Arthur Cowan, the flag man, the 5-lap board going out. 2 competitors in heat 4. Tatnell acknowledging the 5-lap board, again hopping and skipping his way through turns 1 and 2, but well into the field for the second occasion now is Tatnell, followed through by Blaney. On the outside is the American, drops slow on the circuit, and Dave Blaney races up into second running. The American is second. Harry Delamont relegated back to third, and look at young Brooke Tatnell in position 4. And coming through from the back still is Blacklaw in a 78 car, followed up by Ivan Wilson into the closing stages now. And Blaney's closed right up now and attempting to move within striking distance of Tatnell. Tatnell is slowed off turn 4. George Tatnell will need more horsepower now as Dave Blaney gathers in on the inside, racing off 2 down the back section. White flag at the ready as they race off turn 4. Tatnell on the outside, Blaney on the inside, and the white flag out. A 12-lap journey, 11 completed, less than 1 remaining for Tatnell. Down the back section for the final go around as Blaney takes a dive on turn 3, but it'll be Tatnell to the wire. George Tatnell first, Dave Blaney second. And a great drive again from Harry Delamont in third. But the American challenging all the way to the black and whites. But it was George Tatnell in the Winfield Racing number 5 car, taking heat 4 for the sprint cars for Australia. In car number 5, 25 years of racing under his belt as he moves on to the main straightaway. There's the father and son team, George and Brooke Tatnell. George Tatnell first.
Now a great race by George Tatnell and a good time, only 3.5 hundredths of a second. Away from Danny Smith's track record, 2 minutes 56.811 racing seconds. 2 minutes 56.811 on the Winfield clock tonight for George Tatnell in heat number 4 for the sprint cars, event number 7 in the program, and Tatnell raced for Winfield Racing tonight. In second place, a great drive, great traffic drive by Dave Blaney in car number 75 for Coca-Cola. And in third place for Mad Harry's, Harry Delamont in car number 4 from Young. And what a drive in fourth place by Brooke Tatnell. What a drive for a young 16-year-old. Shows no fear.
Garry Rush up on the front row in the Winfield number 25 car. Kev Worthington off pole. The pressure on Kevin Worthington in the 49 car. And the good news, of course, for the Stephen Gall fans is that Stephen Gall has a new race car tonight. A new race car tonight and a new sponsor racing under Asia in the number 26 car. And that's a Beretta car out of Victoria.
Yes, indeed, Al. So he was quite happy with the finished article. Let's see how he does it on the tacky top. This is where the proving ground is. Doesn't matter how smick and shiny and clean they look, it's on the tacky top we want to see them. For the race fans, it's a reverse starting order to their first heat. So Rush, who started on the last row in his first heat, starts up front, second time around. Here comes the green flag. And the 7-time national champion blasts through to the race lead in the Winfield Racing car. Car number 25 from Kev Worthington in car 49. And then it's Stephen Gall quickly into third place in the 26 car with Max Dumesny, the first time winner in his heat. Now in the reverse heat, coming through into fourth place quickly on the inside of Gall, moving up into third. The race is on for the pocket money in heat number 5 for the sprint cars tonight. Garry Rush leads and leads well from Kev Worthington. Fast and hard in third place is Max Dumesny. Then it's Stephen Gall. Jason McMilan looking through and gets through on the inside to take over fourth running in the 99 car. McMilan from the United States. Further back, David Anderson goes to the inside of Peter Kraft. Trevor Sheilds, Bicentenary Bob, and Brian Britton is the last car in the pack. There's Rush. Races hard. Flies around the tacky top in the Winfield 25's car. Oh, some troubles for Jason McMilan as he takes the 99 car high on the track and appears to be right out of power and will not make the pits. Some life back into the car as McMilan now tries to get back onto the racetrack and heads into the pits in the 99 car. 5-lap board. About to go out to their race leader Garry Rush, who is flying around in the Winfield racing car. Car 25 Rush, elbows Rush in the night air as he takes the 25 car around on a fast ride here at PCR. Kev Worthington runs hard in second place, followed by Max Dumesny from Northmead driving his Victorian race car, the oval track. John Sidney car number 5. Next car back is car 37, David Anderson out of Albury, Wodonga. Now Rush putting some lap cars behind him as Peter Craft and Bicentenary Bob drop back through the field. Daylight. Oh, trouble for Dumesny. Dumesny takes car number 5, third place runner Max Dumesny out of the event and into the pits. Sees now David Anderson in third place as the white flag going out for Garry Rush now. For Winfield Racing, it's Rush. Crossing the line now in second place is Kev Worthington. Further back from Victoria, David Anderson. But it's all Garry Rush in heat number 5 for the sprint cars tonight. Rush takes the checkered flag easily. Second to the wire, Kev Worthington in car 49. Third place, David Anderson, car 37. Next one through is Stephen Gall in the Adjib Motor Oils car 26. Trevor Sheilds is the next fast car. The rest are gone bye-byes. Garry Rush coming around, puts your hands together for a fantastic drive by the 7-time National Sprint Car Champion with a new 12-lap track record of 2 minutes 50.409 seconds. 2 minutes 50.409 seconds. Boy, the ink hasn't dried on Danny Smith's 2 minutes 56.457, and now Rush from the front row, and Smith did it there also. 2 minutes 50.409. What a time, what a drive by Garry Rush. So it all sets up for a big final tomorrow night. Plenty of more action coming tonight, and now we all get pretty well excited about event number 17 to come our way, the Sprint Car Stampede. What a beaut heat for the 12 laps, Al, for the 10 highest point scorers, and it'll be a mystery draw, so it won't be on any points or anything like that. Mystery draw for the Stampede. Isn't that going to be fantastic? What a drive and a new track record.
Look at the race time, 2 minutes 50.40000, and as many as you like. It's all up there for 1G Rush, 7 times champion of Australia, and ironically it's on the Winfield scoreboard in the Winfield car at the Winfield track. And this is only quarter of the way into part 1. Unfold towards the starter. As we see, however, the officials are still trackside, so the yellow on display and requesting one further lap of the circuit. A reminder to make sure you obtain your copy of the Winfield Parramatta Raceway souvenir program, because a little later on tonight we'll be doing the draw of the lucky program number, and if your number is drawn out of the hat tonight, it goes into the end of season super draw, and who knows, tonight's lucky program winner could be winging their way to Los Angeles in the United States of America, courtesy of Rob Rutley's Winfield Speedway.
Yeah, we'll talk about that after this heat.
Okay, thanks indeed, Stuart. No start this time around. Bob Tunks up on the front row. Okay, you can see the former national title holder foxing a little as he came off turn 4, showing that front row with Peter Attard in the number 53 car. As they come up turn 4, green flag flies, 12 laps of the journey. Okay, Tunksy takes the ball out of turn 2, but it's Attard jumping out from pole, and Tunks forced to tuck in behind as John Maneep high flying through turns 3 and 4. Sid Moore drops in on the 59 car and runs up through turns 1 and 2, still just on the South side of the midway in the field at the moment is Sid Moore, but the race leader is still Peter Attard in advance of Bob Tunks. John Maneve on the seat now from Danny Smith. And Maneve goes off the circuit but pulls it off the cushion and regaining the racetrack in fourth running. Danny Smith is third, Bob Tunks in second, Attard the leader, and the American is charging. Danny Smith on the inside of Tunks as they race down the back section. The American and the Australian. Tunks and Smith hard at it, but Smith gets through on the inside. Can it be possible that we'll see Garry Rush's 12-lap record tumble again as Danny Smith draws level on the inside of Attard, and Smith goes to the lead. Danny Smith carts Attard high on the circuit on turn 4. Smith, Attard and Tunks now as Attard fights back on the inside. Peter Attard comes back strong on the inside of Smith. On the high line, kissing the cushion is the American, racing off turn 4. Keep your eye on the American and keep your eye on the Winfield scoreboard. Danny Smith. Danny Smith already sharing one of the 12-lap records tonight and now leading with 5 laps remaining for the American as he crosses the wire now. And the Lander Toyota High Bar Gambler, Danny Smith highballing on the clay. This is the Winfield Action Track. This is without doubt Sprint Car City as the American races again on the main straightaway. Clear from Attard by 7, 8, possibly 10 lengths or more now. Bob Tunks looking for more horsepower, gets the front end off the deck, holding down third as the former Aussie champ, as the American Smith. Danny Smith, a former 2 times New South Wales champion, heading to victory. As the white flag comes out, can Danny Smith break Garry Rush's 12-lap record? It's going to be close as the American comes onto the main straightaway, but no, it's outside the record. Garry Rush retains the 12-lap record, but Danny Smith in a scintillating win in the USA number 3 car. Peter Attard in a cloud of blue smoke is second. Big troubles for Attard, but a brave drive in car number 53, and Bob Tunks honking across the wire in third, but outside the record. Garry Rush retains the 12-lap record.
And what a very fast drive, a good drive through the traffic from Danny Smith, because remember he started it in the back race, started on the pole in his opening heat, so he had to come from behind. What a drive by the American professional. From the United States, Danny Smith for Dave Lander Toyota at Blacktown, the western suburbs' biggest second-hand car deal. 2.
Garry Rush scheduled to start off position 3. Non-appearance of Paul Marnie in the 48 car, who was scheduled to race off the pole position. So Garry Rush will move up onto the front row in car number 25. Sharing that front row is Bob Blacklaw. Should be a great wheel-to-wheel dice between these 2 champions, Garry Rush and Bob Blacklaw, as they wind up over on turn 3. Heading onto the main straightaway, green light conditions. Garry Rush takes Blacklaw in the field up through turns 1 and 2. Kev Worthington into third running. Danny Smith around the outside out of 6. Takes over fourth running. Stephen Gall locked in tight. Smith drops down on third, and Blacklaw takes over third. Gives Kev Worthington the big hurry up through turn 2 on the second lap. Race leader is Garry Rush. Keep your eye on the Winfield scoreboard as they race onto the main straightaway. Garry Rush, Kev Worthington, Danny Smith, Bob Blacklaw, Stephen Gall, back then to Bob Hill. Lee Holman, Terry Becker, and the tailwinders struggling further back in the pack as Smith goes right up on the high line, but Kev Worthington holding ground on the 49 car as Rush hightails off turn 2. Gets the front wheels off the deck. backs the car into turns 3 and 4. Garry Rush flying into turns 1 and 2. And again, just lifting the inside rear wheel off the deck as Danny Smith looks for the way around. Kev Worthington on turn 3. Worthington holds ground. Smith tucks in behind. Now a big charge up on the cushion from Smith in the Lander Toyota number 3 car. Wheel to wheel with Worthington. Worthington holding out, but Smith again on the cushion. But Kev Worthington is still there. Worthington and Smith. What a fabulous tie. But this time the American gets the better of the Australian veteran, and through goes the young American into second running, chasing Garry Rush. And any chance now that 12-lap record coming to grief in this heat is put aside as Rob Kidd puts the 43 car around midway between turns 3 and 4. But what a race, an incredible 7th heat for the sprint cars, with Garry Rush kicking away from the front row. Danny Smith and the Lander Toyota 3 car jumping out of the pack from position 6 to take over second running finally from Kev Worthington. What a great drive from Worthington.
By crikey, by golly, Al, that was a great dice by Danny Smith and Kev Worthington. Worthington in really hot form here tonight. Worthington doing a fine job.
Okay, and it looks like bad news for the Blacklaw fans as the blonde bombshell, the Streak, pulls the 78 car up to a halt over there on the extreme outfield on the trotting track in car number 78. So they'll be calling up the recovery units to move Blacklaw because he's in a very vulnerable position over there on turn 2. Garry Rush to lead this field away. We'll just be checking the line-up for the recommencement to racing with Danny Smith at the moment in front of Rob Worthington after having finally got around a very determined Kev Worthington. And Danny Smith consolidates that second placing now. And Kev Worthington sitting in position 3. Stephen Gall, the next one through, in the Egypt-sponsored Beretta, the car built by Brett Lacey from Melbourne. And Stephen Gall, former Mr. Motocross champion, super happy with that race car at the moment and looking sharp. Bob Hill, the next one through. Back then to Lee Holman from Queensland, and this is his really first serious attempt at super clay racing at the Winfield Super Bowl.
Tell you what, Al, Kev Worthington doing a top job here tonight. He had a good heat earlier on, and really was running wheel to wheel with Danny Smith for a couple of good laps there. And
yeah, more than a couple.
Yeah, he made Danny Smith work hard for that second place.
That's good to see because Kev loves his racing. And he'll be talking about that for a long time. Okay, Rush takes the jump, and Danny Smith on the inside. Rush goes high. The American looks on the inside, but Rush fights back. Garry Rush back in the lead, and Danny Smith. This will be a classic sprint car heat onto the main straightaway. 7 completed, 5 remaining. Rush on the high line, Smith on the low line, out of turn 2, and it's still Garry Rush. Okay, we've got the clock on Garry Rush as he moves on the lane straight away. Just over 14 seconds. Smith through on the inside. Garry Rush fights back. And again around the outside as Garry Rush. Smith gets the front wheels off the deck. Okay, just a shade over 14 seconds. The two races of Danny Smith from the United States and Garry Rush. Rush with wheels off the deck again. In full chase of the American. Down the back chute they run. Smith, Rush and Kev Worthington running 1, 2 and 3. White flag out and Danny Smith acknowledges the white. Garry Rush rapidly closing the
to go, but he won't beat Danny Smith to the wire. And heat 7 will go to the Lander Toyota USA number 3 car of Danny Smith, and the twin black and whites come out. Garry Rush second and Kev Worthington super quick time in for third. Back then to Stephen Gall, and the tail enders now moving across as Danny Smith goes back to the pit enclosure, followed up by Garry Rush and Kev Worthington. Danny Smith electing to return to the pit enclosure, but I'm sure he'd love to hear your applause as you put your hands together for the young American. Incredible race from both Danny Smith and Garry Rush, PCR style.
Hey, do you see it anywhere else, Al? Lander Toyota, the victor for, and the sponsor for Danny Smith, the USA 3 car. Winfield Racing for Garry Rush in car 25, and a very fast finishing Kev Worthington in car number 49, home for the show money in third position. No time on the event because of the stoppage, but the Winfield clock, courtesy of Lance Wilson, was ticking over with Garry Rush doing a 14.4 and Danny Smith a 14.1. So the times were very fast. 13.64 is Danny Smith's track record, and well, by Jilly, what's he say? By crikey,
By Jingo.
Somebody says it. Good times, fast times on the tacky top here tonight. And these are only the heats, Al.
These are only the heats. Heat number 8 for this New South Wales Sprint Car Championship. And as they come round to face the yellow, we'll be requesting one further lap before dispatching them on the 12-lap journey. And the third looks a good one with Dave Blaney. His turn to run up on pole position, but right behind Dave Blaney in the Coca-Cola car is George Tatnell running for Winfield in car number 5, and the pressure on young Paul Knott in car number 44 in pole position. Stuart Telfer to bring you the details.
Thanks, Al. This looks like being another screamer. Dave Blaney on the outside of the inexperienced Paul Knott as the green flag comes out. Knott takes the field down to turn 1, but it's Blaney quickly into turn 1. Oh, and there's trouble back in the pack, and all sorts out by the looks of things as Tatnell from second drops back into 5th place. Troubles for Tatnell as we watch some of the problems further back. Meanwhile, for Coca-Cola, it's Dave Blaney racing the 75 car out front and doing it nicely. Tatnell's picked up a position or two and has moved up into 4th now. Second place is still Paul Knott with Harry Delamont in 3rd place in car number 4. Then we see Tatnell in the Winfield Racing car number 5 on the outside of Delamont, looking for 3rd place, and he grabs it down the back straight. Here comes Jason McMilan now. He moves past Delamont to take over 4th running. But it's Dave Blaney chasing the 12-lap track record here at PCR as Tatnell now moves under Knott to take over 2nd running. Knott runs in 3rd place, then it comes Jason McMilan. McMilan runs in 4th place, Delamont in 5th. And around goes car 44 doing the big donut. Paul Knott running in 2nd place. Too much, the excitement, too much for Paul Knott. The pressure was on, and he puts the number 44 car around. So, bang goes any chance of Dave Blaney taking out a 12-lap track record tonight. So, there was nobody near him. All right, Phil's slowing down now. Oh, just they've got the pace. They've got those engines amped up tonight, and the drivers are amped up for some very fast racing on the tacky top. 8 laps remaining, and still the 15 laps been amended. Event number 17 by demand of us guys up here that the event number 17 be made a 15-lap stampede. 10 highest point scorers for a mystery draw will run 15 fast laps here. Only a few races away now. That'll be fun. That'll be exciting. So Dave Blaney for Coca-Cola and Hare 10, car number 75, the John Bob Walsh car, a Challenger, and his Challenger is now coming from George Tatnell in the high bar, a Gambler car, a new car for George Tatnell.
And then further in third place, it's Jason McMilan in the Tognotty car. Out of Sacramento comes Jason McMilan, and he chases Tatnell and Dave Blaney. Looks like the rest are around. Oh, and over. Red light's being called now. Jim Powick involved in that one, and we think Brian Britton is the white car that got caught up with Powick, who was in problems. And young Brian Britton, second generation driver, he's okay. Well, he was until his car got rolled back over. Score from turn 1, no, they're asleep. Powick went up on 2 wheels, a big bicycle down there in turn 1. Put your hands together for Brian Britton. He goes on the list for Stallion Stables' most hair-raising driver of the night award. When he pulls off that bandana, you'll see he needs one. But he's okay, waves to the crowd. His father, 6 times Australian Super Modified Sprint Car Champion, young Brian, following in the footsteps of his great dad. He's out racing a 43 from the turn. You can't have a 43. 473. What do you add them up and divide them and take the best or something? You drop the highest and lowest. So I guess something's happening. So
okay, so while they pay attention to the number 6 car, recovery units, attending to the luckless Brian Britton car, let's take the opportunity to remind you of the very best in video deals. Speedway video, get down to Bob Pike's Fairfield Films van. You'll find it situated right at the base of our commentary box here. And there's some super Parramatta Speedway action in both the VHS or the Betamax system. Whatever system you have, Bob Pike's crew can give you the greatest deals on Speedway tapes. And of course the good news is that the prices start from as low as $25. That's right, $25 with the vast majority of the tape library. Each tape in the vicinity of 1.5 to 2 hours. They've got all sprint cars, all speed cars, best of sprint cars, complete meetings. You nominate the meeting and Bob Pike was sure to have it in the library, and if he doesn't have it available tonight, which would be very rare, he'd soon make it available to you for tomorrow night, I should imagine. I can't see any problems there. Bob's crew are very quick at getting the tapes on deck, the orders through without delay. So why don't you take the opportunity to call down and speak to the team down there in the Fairfield Films video van at the moment. Check out the prices, check out the details. But the good news is, of course, that the prices start from as low as $25 for take-home Speedway action. And I know there's many of the race fans out there who are avid collectors of the Speedway videos. So get down to the Bob Pike's van and check out the great deals. Attention's back to the circuit now with Dave Blaney in the Coca-Cola number 75 car in advance of George Tatnell, the Winfield 5 car. Let's cross back to Stuart.
Thanks, Al. The green flag's on its way out for Dave Blaney as he comes out of turn 4. The Coca-Cola car racing ahead of the Winfield car, and then it's Jason McMilan. Sid Moore in problems in the 95 car. Comes on the track back in front of the Villawood Truck Sales car, car 14 of John Manouf. Keep your eye on the Winfield clock. Dave Blaney racing the Winfield clock now. 13.64 is the race track record for the 1 lap. And here's Blaney's time, a fast one of 14.17. Blaney heads up George Tatnell and Jason McMilan. Harry Delamont and Trevor Sheilds fight it out, rubbing wheels down the back straight, a puff of smoke as they bang wheels. With 5 laps remaining now for Dave Blaney out of Ohio. Basketball player sometimes and a sprint car racer. Most times. Blaney, refreshingly fast in the Coca-Cola car, car 75. Bruce White with problems in the 96 car, up and over the cushion but back on the track and racing. Blaney, the whole back straight ahead of George Tatnell and Jason McMilan.
John Beneath getting the protest flag from the infield. The driver of car number 14, the Villawood truck sales car. White flag now going out to Dave Blaney. Blaney in the 75 car has really lit up the track here tonight. Down the back straight. Oh, he bubbles on the cushion, but controls the car and comes out at turn number 4 now, heading for the checkered flag. Here they come, checkered flag for Dave Blaney. And on the inside, Jason McMilan steals second place ahead of George Tatnell. So Tatnell, whoa, and Beneath having problems further back in the pack. Not coming to grips with the final turn. Comes across now. But put your hands together for the driver with a refreshingly fast drive in the Coca-Cola car 75, Dave Blaney.
As you say, part-time basketball player out of Ohio, top young racer. Sizzling performance on that occasion from Dave Blaney in the Coca-Cola number 75 car, heading off from young Jason McMilan, also sensational in the 99 car from the United States, from Sacramento. As a matter of fact, out of Northern California, Jason McMilan second to the wire in the US 99 car. George Tatnell punching hard all the way in the Winfield 5 car, taking out third. No time recorded. Fast times, however, running against the clock for Dave Blaney, just over the 14-second mark as Blaney returns the black and white after a sensational drive. USA number 75 first, USA 99 second, and for Australia in car number 5, George Tatnell third. No time recorded. That's the way it went in heat number 8 on the sprint car program, event number 13 on the card as the sprint cars move out onto the circuit.
It's a white ticket, F34. Quickly come down and grab your carton of beer. F34, it's a white ticket. Al, here we go racing.
Thanks indeed, Stuart. Brooke Tatnell off pole, goes out wide, moves to position 2 as they head up through turns 1 and 2. The pressure on young Tatnell as he's right in the thick of it, heading down the back section for the first occasion. This is the final heat leading up to the top 10 superstars race, the Stampede onto the main straightaway. Okay, 1 down, 11 remaining now as Peter Kraft jumps out as the race leader. Also there is David Anderson from Victoria making his presence felt as he takes over second running. Brooke Tatnell fighting on strongly now as Bob Tunks comes through on the inside. Tunks takes over third. Young Tatnell in the Nance car back in fourth running. A long gap back to Barry Lewis now in the double one car, and the rest fighting it out for the minor placings way down on the back. Race leader Peter Kraft. Oh, good tight drive from Tunks. Takes him through on the inside, but Anderson fights back. But going around, just trying to pick up the car going around, but it was Ivan Wilson. Okay, it was Ivan Wilson who backed the car around, we're told, on turn 2. And we'll see if we can pick up just who it is side on over there on turn 2. Okay, it's Ivan Wilson who's up into the 28 car, the likeable Irishman, and it was the Queenslander. Looks like Pete Nicastri in the 32 car out of Queensland who backed around over there on turn 2, and it was Ivan Wilson with nowhere left to run, as we say, the likeable Irishman upending the number 28 car, and that certainly puts a damper on the season so far for Ivan, because he's been doing some incredible things in that 28 car this season. Has been a main event winner. Caravan, the red, white and blue van down there, that's where you get the latest copy of National Speedway Illustrated, and of course Open Wheel, the American sprint car magazine from the United States. Flown in this week, the February issue of the American Open Wheel magazine. Superb publication covering all the American Speedway action, but about 95% of the coverage is of sprint car racing. the length and breadth of the United States of America. And that was brought in on the Flying Tigers cargo jet just this week, the latest February edition. Make sure you obtain your copy. Peter White Speedway World also available. Let's get set to go racing. Green flag flies, racing again now. David Anderson leading Bobby Tunks up through turns 1 and 2. Brooke Tatnell in 4th, running wheel to wheel now with Barry Lewis as they head down into turn 3. On the outside line, last of all, is Peter Attard looking for the way around Alan Bates, but down the back section, meanwhile, kicking up the dust in the 37 car is Anderson. Oh, kisses the cushion hard, drops it back down track onto the main straightaway. Anderson still the leader. Bob Tunks can't find the way through on David Anderson. Barry Lewis has finally gotten through on the inside of young Brooke Tatnell as he races down to turn 3. And Peter Attard throws the 53 car into turn 3 as Anderson comes under siege. The race leader Anderson under siege again from Bob Tunks. Barry Lewis getting both front wheels off the deck on the run down the back straightaway. This time across the wire for David Anderson out of Victoria. There will be 4 Winfield racing laps remaining. And Brooke Tatnell and Barry Lewis coming together. Wow, Brooke Tatnell grabbing 3rd place, but well, young Tatnell, a colourful light. He'll be grabbing a protest flag on his first night of racing. It's all David Anderson as he backs the 37 car hard into turns 1 and 2. The likeable red-headed Victorian runs down through turns 3 and 4. The white flag going out. Bob Tunks in 2nd. Brooke Tatnell racing under protest in 3rd. Barry Lewis has dropped it but regains. And David Anderson. Oh, right on the cushion is Anderson. Off turn 4, literally crosses Duck Creek and the black and white, and David Anderson takes the black and whites. Bob Tunks 2nd, Brooke Tatnell under protest 3rd. Oh, crossing the wire now is Barry Lewis, back then to Peter Attard in an action-packed event. Alan Bates, final car to finish. But put your hands together for the likeable red-headed Victorian, David Anderson, top drive.
Yeah, great stuff, Alan. Aren't we pleased to see him put a win together here at PCR? Who'll ever forget last season when David Anderson was leading the sprint car main event, one of our big shows last year, and then had the almighty up and ender coming out of turn number 4. So good to see David Anderson. He loves this track, and he's back and wins the heat here tonight. Heat number 9, the final heat for the sprint cars tonight for David Anderson in car number 37. Second to Bob Tunks in car 54 in the Super Mix concrete car.
Now come on, Tatnell can't be in all the races.
Oh no. And Brooke Tatnell with a big finish, with his 3rd place finish in car number 8. And the question is being asked, who taught Brooke some of his tricks on the racetrack?
I wonder. The starting order. Tatnell has a problem in the 5 car. Waiting for the push vehicle to move onto the tail.
I tell you, I'll start again. I'll tell you what, Al, he wouldn't want a big problem. He's starting on the pole tonight.
Okay, Stuart, how about a rundown on the starting order?
Okay, in pole... Oh, okay, well, we thought we had a list, Al. Yeah, thanks, Ken, but no thanks.
75 out of 1.
Okay, there's the lineup as they form up into rows of 2.
Yellow lights out, Al, so we should see a start next time around.
75 out of 1. 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 75 out of
Okay, Blaney off pole position. Bob Tunks takes the jump, looking for the green. We have it as they race off turn 4. Okay, without further ado, Dave Blaney takes Bob Tunks and the field through turns 1 and 2. George Tatnell is third. Danny Smith fires on the inside of Tatnell. Garry Rush is there also midfield as they race down past our commentary position. 1 down and 14 left remaining now. But Dave Blaney skipping away in the Coca-Cola 75 car in advance of Bob Tunks, Danny Smith, George Tatnell, Garry Rush, Kevin Worthington, David Anderson rather. Back then to McMilan in the 99 car. Last of all is Bob Hill, but it's all Dave Blaney up on the high line. Kicks off the cushion on turn 2. Bob Tunks looking for more horsepower, but it's still all Blaney as Danny Smith attempts to close the gap on Tunks. George Tatnell holding the field at bay as Kev Worthington slides through on the inside of Garry Rush and George Tatnell. What a drive from Worthington. Tatnell fights back in 4th running. Kev Worthington doing incredible things with the 49 car. Kev Worthington up to 4th running after disposing of both Rush and Tatnell as Rush goes around the outside of Tatnell onto the main straight away. Tatnell fights back. Blaney leading by 1/4 of a lap over Bob Tunks and Danny Smith. Smith still fighting hard to find the way around Bob Tunks, who has it covered on the main straight away. Kev Worthington fastest 4th from Garry Rush and George Tatnell. Back then to David Anderson, Barry Lewis, and Bob Hill is last of all. Hill almost out of it now as Blaney gathers Hill up on the inside. The race leader on the cushion honks off turn 4. Races again into the top section of the circuit. The red and white Coca-Cola 75 car of Ohio's Dave Blaney leading the top 10 qualifiers with 10 completed and 5 remaining. We'll be looking towards that 15-lap record. Keep your eyes on the scoreboard as Blaney continues to lead by 1/3 of a lap now. But Danny Smith has come out of the clouds with all wheels off the deck. Then as Smith attempts to gather in Blaney, George Tatnell spun to the outfield on turn 4. And this 15-lap record currently in the hands of Danny Smith in January 1983. As Dave Blaney, and look at Smith motoring, Blaney motoring halfway around as Smith pulls the landed Toyota 3 car back down track. Bob Tunks in 3rd, Garry Rush in position 4, back then to Kev Worthington, but the final runner around the circuit, Dave Blaney, Danny Smith off the track, back down now, goes Blaney in, Smith could win this as they come off turn 4, but it's Blaney first, Danny Smith in for 2nd, and 3rd will go out to Bob Tunks in car number 54. No record to Dave Blaney, no record. Danny Smith retains the 15-lap record, but what a drive from Dave Blaney, Danny Smith and Bob Tunks. Put your hands together for tonight's top 10 New South Wales Championship round 1 final. Dave Blaney from Ohio putting the Coca-Cola 75 car across the wire ahead of a hard-charging Danny Smith. What a drive. Al, the 2 Americans, and of course Bob Tunks in there pushing hard all the way again.
Al, does that tell us something about what's going to happen tomorrow night when the big final rolls around?
You better believe it.
USA 75 for Coca-Cola. It was Dave Blaney, the big winner on the event, and here he comes with the checkered flag. Put your hands together once again for Dave Blaney. What a drive. Give him a Coke.
Second in car number 3, give him a Toyota. Dave landed Toyota, of course. The landed Toyota car number 3, Danny Smith from the United States. And go and get some concrete or super mix tomorrow, because Bobby Tunks is so excited about his 3rd place. That was a great drive by car 54, Bob Tunks. Time on the event, Al, 3 minutes, 46.115. Just a mere half second outside of Danny Smith's 5-year-old track record.
Of the qualifying round for the New South Wales Sprintcar Championship right here at the Winfield Raceway. Out comes the green, racing away now as Joe Madsen takes the field. Up through turns 1 and 2, Bob Hill jumps out of the second row to take over second running. Down the back section, a wall of wings and wheels. TJ Becker on the high line, runs the 55 car, looks for the outside run. Madsen still the leader at the end of lap 1 with 11 remaining. Queensland now comes out of the pack in the number 50 car to take over 3rd running. Northern Queenslander, Lee Holman into 3rd now. Madsen hoiks an outside front wheel on the main straightaway after crossing up the weight jacker on the main straightaway. Joe Madsen, race leader, heads the 12 car off turn 4. Under siege now from Bob Hill. Lee Holman in the Rob Worthington, Nance car, moves up quickly now and replies the challenge. Jumping out, however, is Danny Smith. Danny Smith in 4th running in advance of Kev Worthington and Bob the Street Blacklaw. Madsen relegated back to 3rd as Hill takes over the lead. Lee Holman, the Queenslander, reveling in the early track conditions, holding down 2nd. Madsen the next one through, and Indiana's Danny Smith. Kev Worthington gets by on the inside of the American. The American appears to have run into problems. And Danny Smith goes back to the pit enclosure. As the Kiwi spins toward the infield, Bob Hill still the leader from Lee Holman, twisting away in the number 50 car. As Kev Worthington now moves up into 4th placing and applying the pressure to Joe Madsen, who gets both the front wheels off the deck. Madsen loses the front end coming off turn 4. Oh, there's some drive in that track now, but Bob Hill still the leader. Races onto the main straightaway, plenty of action further back with Worthington in advance of Joe Madsen, and Blacklaw now comes up into position 5. The Kiwi finding the early conditions just a little too heavy at this stage, but the racing continuing on now as Stephen Gall walks up tight on turn 3. Bob Hill still the race leader, and Lee Holman now as they run through the down cars. Holman in 2nd, Bob Hill the leader. Kev Worthington a distant 3rd in advance of Blacklaw. Khan has the white flag at the ready onto the main straightaway. Hill splits the tail end as wide open as he sweeps out of turn 2 down the back section for the final occasion. Lee Holman in hot pursuit in 2nd running. Holman attempted to close the gap on the final run to the black and white, but it will be Bob Hill in the 88 car, fast finishing Lee Holman 2nd. And 3rd will be Kev Worthington in the 49 car. Bob Blacklaw, best of the rest and fastest, 4th in car number 78, followed in by Joe Madsen, TJ Becker, Garry Rush in the Winfield car, and Stephen Gall in car number 26. Rod Kidd, one of the final cars to cross the wire in car number 43. Put your hands together, picking up heat 1 on the Dites card, the first of the 12-lap journeys, going out to Bob Hill, car number 88, and an excellent drive from Lee Holman from Queensland in car number 50 to run up in 2nd.
Impressive drive by Lee Holman, that was too, Al, because the other night here, last year, as we've been saying, Lee Holman was having a little bit of trouble coming to grips with this track.
Okay, let's say thank you to the sprint cars. 12 laps the journey as Sid Moore jumps out in front of Jason McMilan, the American in the 99 car. Dives through on the inside of the boss to take over the lead. Brian Britton in 3rd.
Sidmore. George Tatnell closing right up in the Winfield car. This is Sprint Car City, Winfield Sprint Car action. Tatnell throwing out all the shots. Had Sidmore down the back section. Trevor Sheilds best of the rest. From John the Deep, and now Dave Blaney. Blaney comes out of the pack. Harry Delamont in the number 4 car. In the middle mark from Paul Knott, but back with the race leader now. Jason McMilan has the 99 car on the high line. Cuts down low and takes the Tognotty racer through into turns 3 and 4. Super smooth, Jason McMilan lapping the tail enders through on the inside of Brave Bruce White is right off the pace, and Sid Moore still wheel to wheel with George Tatnell. Moore in second, Tatnell is third, has a hook on the inside. 7 down, 5 remaining. As McMilan continues to motor through the down cars. With Sid Moore under siege from Tatnell. And Dave Blaney comes up too. Vip running now with Sid Moore out of shape. Down the back straightaway with Tatnell going through to secure second. Tatnell on the charge. Sid Moore bounces out of turn 2 in third. Trevor Sheilds still in fourth in the closing stages now, and Dave Blaney through on the inside of Beneath. Beneath closes up the gap with the white flag coming out now on the main straightaway to Jason McMilan. 11 Winfield laps completed. Less than 1 remaining for McMilan as he moves down into turns 3 and 4 for the final occasion. Well cleared, George Tatnell in second, and out come the black and whites. And Jason McMilan screams it in the 99 car. Sid Moore regains second, running in the 95 car. George Tatnell on the final lap, relegated back to third in advance of Trevor Sheilds. Dave Blaney in the 75 car in there also. But what a drive from racing Jason McMilan from Sacramento in Northern California. Put your hands together for the young American. A great drive.
Yeah, he really lit up that track tonight. He was the first one to break the 3 minutes tonight for the 12-lap distance too, Al. So that's come a little bit quicker than we expected. Jason McMilan out of Sacramento in Northern California wins in Sid Moore's car number 99. Second was Sid Moore, who grabbed that second position on the last corner from George Tatnell, who slowed. So Sid Moore in the CR&D Tognotty picking up second in car number 95, and George Tatnell in the new High Bar Gambler for Winfield Racing. Car number 5, Tatnell home for third in a race time of 2 minutes 55.233 racing seconds. 2 minutes 55.233. Comes the factory 5 car with Lewis leads Peter Attard. Peter Attard throws the 53 car wide and high on the track and comes out the winner of the duel down the main back straight. It's Attard. Lewis going along the track. Dumesny looking for a spot to come through. Attard around the outside. Attard in 53 leads once again. Lewis on the inside. What a tussle. Meanwhile, Bobby Tunks on the inside of Dumesny. Dumesny back on the inside of Tunks. A race is on our hands right now in heat number 3, round 2 of the New South Wales Sprintcar Championship. Lewis now heads up a decent lead over car number 53, Peter Attard. Dumesny now away from Tunks, who was very cheeky, sticking his nose under. Meanwhile, Attard's right under the siege of Maxwell's Silverhammer as the number 5 car down the back straight, looking for the inside run on Attard. Attard shuts the gate out of turn 4. Wheels up in the air out of the fabulous sprint cars as we see them race neck and neck down the back straight. Dumesny once again on the inside of Attard. Attard a little bit high this time. Looks like Dumesny's got him. Dumesny through on the inside in the OTR car to run into second place. Tunks now putting pressure on Attard.
with Barry Lewis. Seven down, 5 to go for Barry Lewis in the High Bar Gambler with the 87-88 model OTR right on his hammer now. Inside with 5 to go, it's going to be a race and a half. Attard still back there in third place, but Tunks on the inside looking for the way through on Attard now. Dumesny catching up right there, elbows flying, twisting the steering wheel as Dumesny now looks for the outside pass. Will he cut back? He does to the inside. Lewis away up to the move. Shuts the gate down the main straight. They race into turn 1. The lap's getting shorter and shorter now. Lewis has the groove. Dumesny now with a white flag appearing. One racing up to go. They both see the flag. Lewis, perspiration under that helmet as he tries to keep Dumesny at bay. Dumesny a tap in the tail on Lewis. Around the outside goes Dumesny for the race lead on the last lap. Lewis comes back. They race it down the main straight, and Dumesny in number 5 gets the victory. Second, and what a great drive to Barry Lewis in car number 11, and third to Peter Attard, who really had to work the hammers in the number 53 car to keep Bobby Tunks back in 4th place. But what a drive. Put the hands together. A great drive for Max Dumesny, car number 5. And also keep them warmed up for Barry Lewis. What an excellent effort for the basically the one-armed driver out of Sydney, Barry Lewis, in that number 11 car. Al, hey, we're in for some good racing tonight.
Don't have to go too far past Winfield Parramatta Speedway to see true sprint car racing at its best, let me tell you. And that's the way they finish, as Stuart called them, right on the wire. Max Dumesny first in the number 5 car, Barry Lewis second of the wire in the double 1 car, and third, also a top drive to Peter Attard in car number 53. Look at the time, read it and wait, 2 minutes 54.24. 2 minutes 54.24, starting to knock on the door of Gary Rush's record there, to 54.24 for Max Dumesny.
We see the green flag fly now for on the pole position, and obviously works your way back from there. And with the highest points on the night from the United States, driving the Dave Lander Toyota from Blacktown car number 3, Danny Smith. Danny Smith on the pole, and a call to Dave Lander. The ice cream queue is too long to worry about. Car number 3, Danny Smith on the pole. In second position, George Tatnell. Danny Smith had 45 points. George Tatnell with a score of 42 starts on the outside front row. In third position from the United States, driving the Coca-Cola car 75 with 41 points, Dave Blaney. Position 4, also from the United States, car number 99, it's racing Jason McMilan with 39 points. Position number 5, car number 11 with 35 big points to Barry Lewis. Position 6 from Victoria, car 37, David Anderson with 32 points. Also with 32 points in position number 7 from Sydney, car number 25, the 7-time national champion of Australia, Garry Rush. Position number 8, car number 49, Kev Worthington, great effort with 31 points. Position number 9, car number 88, Bob Hill, Aussie Bob, with 31 points also. Position number 10 from Victoria, car number 5, Max Dumesny, 30 points. Position number 11, car 54, also with 30 points, Bob Tunks. Position number 12, car number 53, Peter Attard with 25 points. Position number 13, car number 78, Bob Blacklaw with 24 points. Position number 14, car number 95, Sid Moore, tallying 22 points. Starting in position 15 will be car number 44, Paul Knott with 19 points. In position 16, car number 17, Trevor Sheilds with 18 points. Starting position 17 from Queensland, also with 18 points is Lee Holman. And to make the 18-car field from Queensland also Peter Catasti with car number 32 and 15 points. Starts at the rear. I can see Catasti not with us tonight, and taking his position next on the list was young Brooke Tatnell in car number 8. So he starts in position 18 on the last row outside. He also had a total of 15 points. That's excellent from the young guy who that night was making his clayway debut in top flight action. So he's made his first feature race field at Winfield Parramatta City Raceway, and we are proud of him, boy.
That'd be a good place to start in this field too.
Well, he's going to get a good look at it, Al.
Right at the back, yep. It's all going to happen up front. Okay, as they pick them up and put them down, Danny Smith to take the field, and Zara says no. Okay, the starter elects to send the field on one more circuit before dispatching them on the 25-lap journey for the 1988 New South Wales Sprintcar Championship. Danny Smith, a two-time winner of this state title. Okay, once again, Danny Smith to take the field. Down into turns 3 and 4, the adrenaline pumping, getting set for the Winfield Sprint Car action. New South Wales Sprint Car Championship time, and racing now is the green flag fly. Up through turns 1 and 2, and and Dave Blaney also dribbling to a halt in a 75 car, but it was Peter Attard in car number 53 who jumped out of the pack, wrong side up. Attard climbs out of the wreckage, and Peter Attard appears to be okay. Wow, what a start to the New South Wales title. Okay, recovery units quickly on the scene. Of course, the crash crew among the first of the officials there. And now track clearing operations quickly begin to remove the Peter Attard 53 car, a young driver who's been running extremely hot, in good form this season, and what amounts his first season with a real race car underneath the bucket seat. Peter Attard. Number 53 car of Peter Attard. Extreme bad luck for the youngster. Also involved Bob Tunks in the 54 car, and Lee Holman from Queensland. Stuart Telfer reports from our vantage point through the binoculars that both cars appear to be okay. Okay, Bob Tunks being pushed away and waiting for the recovery units to attend. Peter Attard's 53 car back on all fours now, with the Barry Taylor's quick lift being brought into operation. Okay, let's go racing at Winfield Raceway as they head off for the New South Wales Sprintcar Championship. But again, officials say no, and they'll need to form up once again. Okay, it looks like a protest flag coming out to both George Tatnell in the Winfield 5 car and Danny Smith. Tatnell and Smith racing under protest.
So the whole front row it is, Al. That's the front row guys. Get the protest flag because they are
two of the most experienced drivers in this track here tonight, and they know that they're not supposed to go until that white line, which is just being replaced on the track there, coming out of turn 4, not in turn 3. The gas pedal doesn't go down until they come out of turn number 4. Is that right? Oh, so they don't.
Let's see what happens. Well, we could be wrong. Let's pick them up off turn 4. Green flag flies, racing again. Jumping out of the track is Worthington, but meanwhile, up through turns 1 and 2. Smith makes sure the jump this time and leads away. In the USA 3 car from George Tatnell and McMilan. Garry Rush, best of the horse and fastest ball. Onto the main straight away. 1 down and 24 laps remaining, and around goes John Leneath.
Well, our opening lap, Lance, one of plenty of action. Lance Wilson on the Winfield clock. At time, Danny Smith on the opening lap at 13.84, just 200ths of a second outside his own track record. He can't break his track record during the race. Must be in time qualifications. But that off turn 4 onto the main straightaway, and racing. Danny Smith and Jason McMilan, Lee George Tatnell and Garry Rush up through turn 2 and down the back section. This time across the wire, there'll be 22 laps remaining. Smith, McMilan, Tatnell, Rush, Sidmore, Max Dumesny, back then to Anderson, Bob Blacklaw, Bob Tunks, young Brooke Tatnell, Trevor Sheilds.
slides off the circuit here on turn 1. This is absolutely incredible happening here in the New South Wales Sprintcar Championship. The two Americans running 1 and 2 with Garry Rush in 3rd place and Sid Moore and Max Dumesny vying for the minor placings in the closing stages. Garry Rush leads away. Green flag, 4 laps remaining in the New South Wales title. And away goes Rush and Dumesny jumping out in second running in advance of Sid Moore. Anderson goes around the outside of Blacklaw, who has a hook on the inside down in turn 3. Tackles there also as Blacklaw gets both front wheels off the deck. And George Tatnell pivoting on the front wheel right up in the air and drops back in the pack. As Garry Rush leads away in the 25 car, 13.57. Inside the 1 lap record, 13.57, with the 1 lap brought out to Garry Rush, the white flag, final run, down into turns 3 and 4, and Garry Rush will win the New South Wales Championship for 1987, and third to Sid Moore. And the second last lap for Garry Rush, 13.57.
Because more so than ever, those guys really deserve your applause tonight. And in a great 4th place tonight, David Anderson out of Victoria. Lives in Albury, but does his racing in Victoria. Loves to come to Parramatta here. We saw him leading a sprint car feature race last summer. Had it shot to pieces. One rut in the track, and he hooked that and put himself out in a spectacular fashion when the race was his. That was a big race for him, and he sat on the sidelines to watch the happenings as well. But the drivers are starting to catch their breath back. The young fans, Sharon, Jeanette and Kathleen, donated the cans of soft drink down to 4th place. Here he comes, David Anderson out of Victoria. Please make him welcome. And now we go across to your track announcer, Alan Edworthy.
Okay, thanks indeed. Yeah, keep those applause coming for David Anderson. David from Victoria, racing back here on the PCR clay tonight. Goodness gracious, what a night of dramas. Dave, welcome back to the winner's circle. Well, 4th down the line, but good to have you back. What a top drive. Did you have any anxious moments out there, or are they all anxious moments?
It was a bit hairy at the start. The track came in, a lot quicker than all of us thought,
Brought the colour back to your cheeks?
Yes, it did. But once we got going after the lights come back on, the car felt good and it was just getting better and better as the race went on.
Good work, Dave. It's always a great pleasure to have you before the microphone, and even greater pleasure to see you out there on the circuit. Top 4th place tonight, and our lovely Chris would like to offer her congratulations personally. David Anderson, folks, out of Victoria, back racing on the Clayway. Make him welcome. Thank you. Thanks, Dave. Up in 3rd place tonight, a man we talked to earlier this evening. How about making him welcome, Mr. Sid Moore? Top drive, Sid. Congratulations.
Thanks, Ollie.
Good to have you back up here and talking to us again.
Yes, the little car felt well tonight, and I didn't feel too bad, but I must admit there, Max said, I'll wear you out, and he certainly did. But it's good to be able to run even up at the front there with the Americans and Garry and Max. The car was on the pace. It's a long time since I've had to get onto that pace. It was probably the hardest 20 laps I've done for quite a while. I'd like to thank the promotion tonight and all you people for coming, and the weather did keep away for us, so we could run this title tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. I'd like to also thank Winfield for the presentation, and least of all my crew that's put a lot of work in for me this season. Thank you all the fellas.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sid Moore. Thanks indeed, Sid. A top drive into 3rd place tonight, thundering all the way in the CR&D entry, car number 95. Well, as Sid said earlier, he was more than happy with the way the Todd Noddy's performing, and He reckons whoever's sitting in the seat's just along for the drive. Well, I think Sid disproved that tonight. Running up in second place, ladies and gentlemen, back to talk to us again, Mr. Max Dumesny, the Silver Hammer. Good on you, Maxwell. You hate that. Good on you, Max. Great to have you back here with us. Quite a hectic drive out there tonight on all occasions.
Yeah, sure was. It was thoroughly enjoyable though. Like we come out of 10 and sort of go up to second. We sort of a little bit of luck, I guess, a couple of guys dropping out, but we had a good race. Had a sort of a good run there with Sid for a little while, and worked out okay in the end. I'd just like to thank John and Varley for hanging around for the night. They weren't going to, but Varley talked John into hanging around. It was sort of worth it in the end. You've got to be lucky sometimes. Like we don't very often have good luck, but just coming over this finish line, then our rear end fell out.
Let me have a look. No, it's all right from here. Okay. Good work, Max. Okay. Would it be fair to say that the track was pretty hooky tonight?
Yeah, it was reasonably, yeah.
Okay, Max, so we're going to hopefully take the opportunity to see you on many occasions through the season.
Yeah, I should be back here when there's nothing happening elsewhere.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Max Dumesny, great drive into second place tonight. A race of changing fortunes. And the New South Wales champion running the Winfield number 25 car, Garry Rush. I didn't hear a thing then, Garry. Good on you, brother. Let me first of all offer my congratulations on behalf of the race fans, because I always have the great pleasure to welcome the winning drivers here to the winners' rostrum here at the Clayway. Well, what a night of changing fortunes, and in all aspects of the race, moving the rain, the electricity, and Smithy and young Jason. And Garry, you survived all the way through.
Yes, that's what we're trying to do now at the moment. We've had a few hectic ones, but it's just bad luck for Danny and young Jason. You know, I don't know what's going on. I remember when I first went to the States, I stayed at Jason's father's place, and Jason was 3 years of age. So someone's trying to tell me something, you know. But no, he's growing up into a nice young man, and he's driving real good. You know, I think you'll find him in Australia next year. You know, he's put on a good show wherever he's gone, and it's just a bit bad luck they come together over the back straight. But the way I've been going lately, I'm going to take it, and we're very happy to win one. You know, this is only our third feature race for the season, and we're going to take them whichever way they come from now on. And we're very happy. The pit crew's worked very hard this year, especially John Barrett and his helpers. And well, you know, Bob Rutley, he's had an experience over the last few weeks, but I think it's all happened for him tonight, and I just hope all the good things happen to him from here on in, and all the people come back, because you know, this is probably one of the best race tracks in the country, and he deserves every bit of support he can get, because he's gone for a sheer hell the last few days. And I hope all of you people that are here tonight enjoyed the race and just come back next week and watch us again. Thanks very much.
Garry, you were closing rapidly in the final stages of the event. I think it's fair to say the race fans, they are watching it all. You were closing rapidly on both Jason and Denny. Did you feel that you would have caught them?
Well, I think I would have caught them, but passing was another thing, you know. But when two guys get racing like that, they start to go a little bit backwards, and that's probably why it's catching up. But yeah, well, you know, that's the luck of racing, you know. But well, I might have caught them, but I don't know if I would have passed them. But then again, that's another story. That's another F, isn't it?
We'll never know. Well, Garry, if your luck was to come good, we are more than delighted that it happened right here at the PCR, the Winfield PCR action track. Ladies and gentlemen, New South Wales champion, Garry Rush. Okay, keep those hands going for all our place getters tonight. David Anderson in fourth, Sid Moore into third running, Max Dumesny who took second, and of course, Rushy, the New South Wales title holder.